Okay. All right, guys. So today we are talking poetry. We're going to be discussing a poem about drought. All right. So before we look at the poem, we're going to look at two pictures that have to do with drought, and they're quite devastating pictures. So if we look at the first one, which you're currently looking at, you see there's a carcass there. It's a carcass of a goat, right? And if you know what a carcass means, it's like a skeleton, all right? So this goat probably died because of the drought, right? It didn't receive any water. When there's no water, there's no food, all right? So if you look around you and you look around that picture there, and there's plants and vegetation, but it's kind of brown, and it's not that lush green vegetation that you usually get when it rains. Okay, so the next picture that I'm going to show you is of a lady, and she is carrying 2 buckets of water, I presume. And if you look at the ground, it's cracked and there's no vegetation, meaning there's no plants. And because there's no water, there's no plants, right? And if you had to, if I asked you to tell me how you feel when you look at those pictures, what would you say? Tell me in the chat. Name me just one feeling that comes to heart when you look at these pictures. You could say disturbed. Well, I personally feel disturbed. And I know that drought happens in the Karoo, right, in South Africa as well. Drought can be, a natural consequence of climate, right? It's just something that the climate needs, right? It can be a good thing, but then sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes it's due to global warming, right? Because of all the pollution that we as humans are emitting in the world, right? That's causing our weathers to be very inconsistent, and that's causing people to die. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the poem now. This poem is by David John Darlow. He is the poet. We'll begin with the first sentence. Now, guys, we know that sentences in a poem are called lines, and paragraphs in a poem is called stanzas. All right, so we don't use the word paragraphs, we use the word stanza. Okay, the burning skies are still, the parched earth is dry, and we die, the little children die. Okay, first of all, burning skies, right? The skies have been described to be burning. Okay, they're burning because obviously it's just the sun that's out. There's no rain, all right? It's like being in hell, basically. The skies are steel. This is a metaphor because we are comparing the skies, first of all, to be burning, and second of all, to be like steel, all right? But we're not using the word like or as, and that's how we know it is a metaphor. Okay, so what kind of properties does steel have? Tell me in the chat. If you look at like steel in your house, right? Your stainless steel pots or knives and forks. When you touch it, how does it feel? Is it warm? Is it rough? Okay, I don't know who's V, but V said it's cold. Yes, very nice description. It's cold, okay? So the skies, it's interesting here because the skies are said to be burning, right? But at the same time, they're like steel, which means they're cold because if you touch steel, it is cold, right? And it means that the sky doesn't care about what's happening on Earth, right? The sky is sending, hi Jensen, it's sending a whole lot of heat to the earth, right? But it's when someone is cold, they are careless, they don't care about other people, and therefore the sky is still. The parched earth is dry. When something is parched, it is like very thirsty. It's not it's basically dry. It hasn't received water for a long time, all right? So instead of saying I'm feeling thirsty, you can say I'm parched. And we die. The little children die. Next stanza. The millions cannot grow. The grass is burnt away, and grim death is haunting us away. So guys, the millions cannot grow because what do they grow on? The soil is being eroded, right? There's soil erosion. And there's no water, right? And you guys know from NS what soil erosion is. A good example is like in this picture here. Well, the soil has been eroded here, right? It's become hard and wind, it has caught with the wind, and basically all the nutrition of the soil has left. Okay, and grim death is haunting us away. When something is grim, it's unfriendly, right? It's gloomy, it's scary. So death is seen, obviously death is when you die, all right? But death is being personified here. This is a personification. Death is haunting us away. When something's haunting you away, like in a scary movie, when you're being haunted, you're being followed, all right? So death is haunting people away, meaning that death is following people who are suffering in the drought. And this is an example of personification. Okay, quickly, someone give me the definition of personification in the chat. Personification. Okay, Sarah says, giving human characteristics to non-living things. Excellent, Sarah. So we're giving death the characteristic of following people, right? That's why it is personification. So guys, if we look at just the few words that we've read in this poem so far, we've heard the words burning, parched, okay, die, little children and die, right? Burnt, here's another word, burnt, death, grim, haunting. All those words, they bring a feeling of devastation, hopelessness, right? They don't make you feel happy and upbeat. They make you feel sad and worried even, right? They bring about an ominous tone. And ominous is when something is ominous, it worries you and you know that something bad is going to happen afterwards, right? Next stanza. The God who lives on high is not a father to us now, for we die in agony, we die. Okay, so the God who lives on high, right? We are addressing God himself, right? And we're saying that God is living high up in heavens, and he doesn't care about what's happening to us mortal beings on earth, right? So the tone here of the author is sarcastic, right? He's sarcastic and he's bitter, and he's referring to God as someone who is cold, like steel, all right? I've also written here that God could also refer to rich people who act godlike, all right? So the gods of the earth could be rich people who don't care about the poor people, and they are living on their high mansions and they're not caring about the poor. Is not father to us now. So in the Christian religion, we know that the Christians see God as their father, all right? And what kind of personality does a father have? Tell me in the chat. When you think about a father, what, like, traditionally, what kind of feature does a father have? What is a father responsible for in the family? Just tell me in a few words. How is the father responsible to make you feel, he's supposed to take care of the family? What else? God is not being the perfect father. Why is that? Sarah said, protecting, caring, loving. Excellent, Sarah. You can reply to everyone. Okay, so you can just turn off that message where you're replying privately, because I think everyone should see that answer. It's a great one. Yeah, so exactly. So a father, when you think about a father, traditionally, right? Traditionally means like how we all know a father to be. A father is a symbol of protection, right? He provides for the family, okay? But here, right, God, being the father, he has neglected his children, right? He has not protected his family, okay? So the tone here is bitter again and hopeless, right? What kind of father abandons his children? That's just crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna tell Vian that he's in the wrong group. Vian, you're in the wrong group, my child. I think you have Afrikaans now. Okay. Okay, so to continue, again, we see that the word die is being repeated so many times. Like the author is using the word die again and again to emphasize that there's only devastation and death. There's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, all right, when there's drought. In agony, we die. So, guys, tell me in the chat, what do you understand by the word agony? When it's usually used like before someone is dying, they're in agony. When we're dying, the Father doesn't care. In fact, God sees us suffer in agony, but it doesn't matter to him because he's on his high throne. Oops, someone said something in the chat. Vian, must we have a lesson? What? I think you are using the wrong timetable. Please check the latest timetable that I sent on the group. Just give me a second, grade 8. I'm just going to send grade 7's a message. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong timetable. No, I can't because the grade 8s are with me. Grade 8s, just tell me, we do have English now, right? Yeah, we do. Grade 7s, you have Afrikaans at the moment. Check the latest timetable. I'm going to send it on the group again. I don't know why Tita Corelia is not calling me, guys. But okay. So I'm sending it to grade 8, grade 7, and grade 9. Okay, so grade 7s, I'll see you in the next lesson. Okay. Jensen, are you with us? I know that you were having a problem with connection or something. I just saw your message now. Right. Okay, guys, so I'm continuing. Okay, so Jensen said agony means in pain. Absolutely. Right? When you're suffering and you're in pain, you are agonized. You are in agony. And lastly, the cattle are gone. What is cattle? What is cattle, guys? Muawiyah, answer me. What is cattle? I'll give you a clue. I showed you the picture. In the picture, there was an example of cattle. Guys, are you with me? feeling a bit alone over here. Muawiyah, I'm still waiting. Yes, Chloe. Isn't it like cattle? Cattle is like a cow? Yes. Muawiyah says groups of cows. Good. I'll take that. All right. Okay, so the cattle are gone and the children reel and they faint and they die. Oh, Father God, they die. All right, so guys, when there's no cattle, there's no food, right? There's no meat, okay? And obviously, there's no cattle because there's no water, and there's no plants because there's no water. And the children are reeling and they are fainting, okay? So reel, when I use the word reel, it creates an image of someone moving like a drunk person because they are so hungry, right? I'm sure you've seen in the movies where someone is so hungry that they actually, they've lost their balance, right? They start imagining things around them. When you are hungry and you hallucinate, when you hallucinate, it means you imagine things that are not there. And you move in pain. Faint means when you feel weak and you feel dizzy, right? I've even got a picture of reeling for you guys here, just to see. Oops. Bring this picture to the front. Yeah. Okay. So this guy, you see, he's like losing his balance. He's moving from left to right, and that's basically what reeling means. Okay. And they die. Again, we're repeating the word die. Oh, Father God, they died. So when we use the word oh there, it is called an interjective. Interjective, all right? An interjective is like a word we use to express a certain emotion. So just say, in this line, for example, oh, Father, die. Oh, Father God, sorry. We beseeching God, all right? We are crying out and pleading to him and trying to get him to understand our point of view, all right? So that's why we use the word oh. When we use the words like, oh my gosh, or wow, or even ish, right? All of those are called interjectives, right? Because they are words that we use when we want to express a strong emotion of happiness, sadness, whatever it is. Okay, let's go through a few vocabulary words here. The first word is parched, and you know that parched means something that's very dry. Grim means unfriendly, stern, or gloomy, right? Gloomy is when something's like sad and it's like blue or scary. Agony is when you're in a great pain or suffering. And to reel means to walk unsteadily from dizziness and weakness or illness. Okay, so we are done with the poem, guys, and now we're going to move on to the questions. Okay, question says, how many lines are there in this poem? We're going to go up to the poem, and I want you guys to count for me how many lines there are in this poem. I'm just enlarging the screen for you. Okay, you can start counting. So there's 4 stanzas. Each stanza has 4 lines. Chloe says 16. Excellent, Chloe. All right. Okay, next question. List 3 things that has happened as a result of the drought. So guys, at the top of your head, what has happened as a result of the drought? Tell me in the chats. Good, Jensen. Guys, reply to everyone, and not to me privately, so that everyone can see your answers, unless there's something you want to tell me privately. Muawiyah, how can you not know? Why don't you know? Did you count? Or am I moving too fast? Okay, so if you count, each stanza has 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so 3 things that has happened as a result of drought. Firstly, the cattle have died, children are dying, right? and the rich are ignoring the poor, right? That you could also say that. You could also say that millions cannot grow, the grass is burnt away, okay, the fields are on fire. Number 3, what one word is repeated throughout the poem? So let's go back to the poem. And I've underlined that word. So tell me the word, guys. Look in the first stanza. Look for the word that's being repeated a lot. Quentin said the. Tell me a word of emphasis, a word that really means something. Chloe says die. Excellent. Right? The word die is being repeated a lot. Okay? And the next question says, why does the poet repeat this word and how does it make you feel? Why do you think the poet repeats this word so many times, guys? He says the children die and he talks about the grass that's dying and everything dying. Muawiyah has said, yes, it makes us feel sad. He wants us to feel sad so that we understand the importance of helping people in times of drought. And you could just say, you know, the word die is used so many times to show the devastation and the hopelessness that drought causes in our lives, right? And how does it make you feel? Well, we've already answered this before, but just to reiterate, it makes me feel hopeless. It makes me feel angry, you know, angry at maybe God, or angry at the rich, angry at the leaders of the world for not doing anything to help these people. Okay. Number 4, the following carefully chosen words and phrases are all used in the poem. Parched, agony, burning, grim, death. I've repeated death. And we die, right? Using the words and phrases from the poem to guide you, choose the best word from the list below to describe the mood of the poem. So if you guys watched my previous video, my poetry video, I spoke about mood, and I said mood was the atmosphere, the feeling that the author is conveying when we read the poem. All right, so those words on top, parched, agony, burning, etc. What kind of mood does it create? Does it create a somber mood? Somber means like dark, gloomy, serious, frightening even, okay? Is it happy? Is it playful? Is it dreamy? Is it thoughtful? Is it frightening? You can say more than one. So answer that for me in the chat. What kind of mood is it creating? Choose a word or words from the bottom. Playful. It's not playful. Well, unless you think that death is playful, or parched when you're dying of thirst. I don't think that's playful. Sarah says frightening. Chloe says frightening. Good girls. Yeah, it is frightening. Death, and imagine death following you. Like you don't have a choice. Like you have to die. Okay. I also think somber. Right. Remember, I said somber also means frightening, and it means when something's really serious and it's nothing funny about it. All right. Okay, number 5. The burning skies are good. Jensen said thoughtful. Yeah, it does make you think, right, Jensen? The burning skies are still. What figure of speech is this? You tell me. So in the first line of the poem, the poet uses the line, the burning skies are still. What figure of speech is it? Is it a simile? Is it personification? Is it a metaphor? The skies are so hot that they are being compared to steel, but steel is gold. Think about it, Maria. I think you were you were not the one who answered me. But anyway, think about it. It's a metaphor. Good, Sarah. So, yeah, so what is the color, texture, and temperature of steel? First of all, what color is steel? I'd really like to know what color you think steel is. Maybe it will be like that Laurel and Yanni kind of situation, where I think it's a color and you think it's another color. Yeah, so what's the color? Texture. Texture is how does it feel? And temperature is it hot or cold? Silver said, Chloe says silver. Yeah, I love that color. Yeah, I thought you would say gray. Quentin says chrome. Excellent, Quentin. Moavia says it's hot. Yes, steel can be hot, it can be cold, but usually on its own it's cold. All right. Okay, so next one. In which way is the sky in this poem similar to steel? Right. So guys, you need to really put your thinking caps on for this one, because steel in its nature is cold unless you put it like on a stove and then it conducts electricity and heat. So the sky is hard, just like steel, right? Meaning that the sky is uncaring. It doesn't feel, it doesn't listen to the complaints of the people below, right? The people who it's affecting. I'm reading from my notes here. In English, the word steely can also be someone who is very hard, has like a hard head, okay? Doesn't change his mind about something. All right, and then also the skies can also be a way of referring to God who is in heaven. That could mean that God is very hard, like just like steel. Steel is hard, right? God could be seen as hard and uncaring, and He doesn't listen to the cries of the people on earth. Okay, so you guys can choose how you want to answer that question for me. Okay, but I want you guys to answer in full sentences, because remember, in your paper, I'm gonna give this is gonna be out of 3 marks or 4 marks. You really need to analyze that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to tell me is the sky is like steel because steel is hard, all right? Which means that the sky, just like steel, is hard and careless, right? And hard-hearted, doesn't care about the people below. Then you can say the sky is also cold like steel. When someone's cold, they're not warm, so they're not loving, they don't care. Right? That's what's going to give you your 4 marks. Okay, what figure of speech is this? These sentences at the bottom. And grim death is haunting us away. And I think it was Sarah who said personification. All right. Okay, choose from the list of words below to explain how the poet feels about God. Muawiyah, we are number 7. About God when he says, the God who lives on high is no father to us now. So guys, tell me, what is the mood created from those lines? Is it a mood of gratefulness, angry, abandoned? When something's abandoned, you neglect it, you let it go, you don't care about it. Confused, respectful. Are we being respectful to God? We're being sarcastic. All right. Angry, good Muawiyah, we're angry at God. All right. We're not grateful because what's there to be grateful about? People are dying. Frustrated. Yeah. Good. Can we say abandoned, guys? Can we use the word? Do you think the people feel abandoned? Remember, abandoned means cast aside, forgotten. I would say definitely the people feel abandoned. All right. Okay, what is the theme of this poem? So remember in the last lesson of poetry, right? I told you the theme was the general idea of the poem, all right? Or a message, but in a few words. So guys, tell me what you think the theme of this poem is. I think one of the themes is poverty. What else is the theme of this poem? It's a lesson in a few words. Think about on the lines of God and people, things like that. And I want all of you to answer. I don't see any answers from, I'm only seeing answers from Sarah, Muawia, Quentin, Chloe, and Jensen. I wonder if Tendo is on the score. Okay, Sarah says grateful, to be grateful. So then the theme would be a theme of gratefulness. Good. You don't know. Okay, think about when people are dying, death, a theme of death, right? Remember, theme is just an idea. What's it based on? What's the poem based on? Could it be like, what do we call it when someone, when God is, you know, forgetting us? We spoke about it a little bit earlier in number 7. Maybe abandonment, a theme of abandonment, right? Absolutely. There's so many themes that I can think of. Theme of rich versus poor, right? That's another theme. The theme of, you can say, well, climate change, right? That's another thing. Okay, guys, there's so many themes that you can think of in this poem. It's like endless. Okay, explain the message of the poem. Now, this is where I really want you guys to think. Okay, so you use the theme and you explain your theme. So just say I chose the theme of poverty. Okay, and I would explain what message do you think the poet wants to tell us about poverty. Well, poverty is rife in a time of drought, and people are, because there's no water, right? There's no food, and people are very extremely poor, so they can't even, you know, for example, build a borehole, right, where they can extract water from the ground because they don't have the money to buy the material. Muawiyah says, is no father to us. Yeah, right. You can, the message of this poem could be that the poet wants to say that God is not a caring being. God has abandoned us. Okay, so have you guys learned from this poem? If you have, please comment yes in the chat. I want to know that you understand this poem and you are ready to answer the questions. Okay. Awesome. All right, I'm still waiting for like 2 more yeses. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for responding and engaging in this lesson. I will be sending you the questions on Google Classroom, and this is due for next week, Tuesday. All right, so take your time answering it. Don't rush. With regards to the descriptive writing paragraph due tomorrow, guys, I've written a really awesome paragraph for you on the group chat, right? So if you're feeling lost, try to take inspiration from that on your WhatsApp group.